It's easy to forget how fragile the beginning was. Right here in Dover, 30 people spent 5 days debating a question with no clear answer. Do we take the leap, or do we stay with what we know? They didn't know if this new country would survive. They didn't know if it would hold together, but they chose yes. And that choice still echoes through this town. Welcome to Back Roads and Front Porches, where the stories of small-town America come to life. From hometown helpers to those keeping traditions alive, we're exploring the people, places, and moments that make these towns feel like home. So grab a seat on the front porch and a glass of lemonade and join us as we discover America's stories. So today, we're slowing things down, just walking through Dover and paying attention to where that first yes still shows up. Every journey has a starting point, and for us, this year starts right here in Delaware. Dover doesn't rush to tell its story. You kind of have to slow down and let it come to you. Walking through here, you realize how much of life happened just like this, between taverns, homes, and meeting places. This wasn't a destination town, it was a working town, a place where people talked things through. It's from this spot, guys, that back in July 29th of 1776, that the Declaration of Independence was read. No microphones, no stage, just people listening and deciding what they were willing to stand behind. It wasn't polished, it wasn't easy, but it was honest. This bell doesn't ring anymore, but the idea behind it still does. What we like about Dover is how close everything feels. The past isn't tucked away somewhere else. It's right here, alongside everyday life. Delaware didn't know how everything would turn out. Nobody did. They just knew they were ready to say yes and deal with the rest together.
On December 7th, 1787, Delaware became the first state to ratify the United States Constitution.
This screen has seen celebrations, arguments, worries, and hope, all played out in the open. At some point, every community reaches a moment like that, a moment where someone has to decide to step up. Places like this remind you, history wasn't built all at once. It was lived in. Long before independence was ever declared, people were already putting down roots here. And like most towns back then, a lot of important conversations happened over food and drink. Walking through here today, it's calm, almost empty, but you can tell this place has carried a lot of weight over the years. What stays with us isn't just what happened here, it's how normal all of it feels. Real people, real places, trying to do the right thing where they lived. Dover didn't need to be loud to matter, and maybe that's the point. Starting this year here just felt right. Because this year isn't about big speeches, it's about everyday places and the people who quietly hold communities together. Standing here, it's easy to think about how small Delaware is and how much it asked of the people who lived here. The Delaware Regiment wasn't the largest group. They weren't the loudest either, but they showed up again and again when it mattered. These weren't symbols. They were neighbors, farmers, tradesmen, people who had homes to get back to and still stepped forward. They carried the weight of some of the hardest fighting, not because they were looking for glory, but because someone had to hold the line. And standing here today, you realize something hasn't changed all that much. Decisions still get made here. Responsibilities still land on real people. The buildings are different. The world is different. but the idea is the same. A community deciding it's worth showing up, worth doing the work, worth carrying things forward together. You know, America's stories didn't end in 1776. 250 years later, they are carried on in buildings just like we're going to today to have lunch. So let's go check it out.
Okay.
So we headed into a place called Gray Fox, right here in downtown Dover. The second you step inside, it feels different, warm, comfortable, like someone thought about how people would feel when they walked in. And honestly, on a quiet, rainy day like this, that kind of welcome means a lot. The menu is full of the kind of food that just sounds good when it's cold outside. Simple, thoughtful, nothing overcomplicated. We took our time in here, no rush, just sitting, warming up, and letting the day settle in. And the food, exactly what we needed. Comforting, filling, and done really well. Places like this don't try to impress you. They just take care of you. And walking back into the cold, it felt like the perfect way to end our day in Dover.
We kept thinking about Dover.
Not the buildings, not the monuments, but how quietly it all started.
There weren't any guarantees back then. No road map, just people deciding to show up and say yes anyway.
And walking through Dover on a cold, empty day, it felt like that choice is still there for all of us.
Not to do something big, but to do something close to home.
That's what this year is going to be all about for us.
Slowing down, paying attention, being intentional, and sharing the places and people who quietly hold their communities together.
This was Dover, Delaware, the first stop of the year.
Thanks for being part of the walk.
And before we go, if there's someone in your town who quietly shows up, a neighbor, a volunteer, someone who just helps because it needs doing, would really love to hear about that.
We really would. Just send us a message and tell us their story.
And if walking through places like this feels like something you'd enjoy doing with us this year, you're always welcome to pull up a chair and come along.